I would rather be a fool than a traitor or a killer.
I am a soldier.
Yes, who kills for Rome, and Rome is evil.
I warn you.
No! I warn you. Rome is an affront to God. Rome is strangling my people and my country, the whole earth.
Guys, welcome to a classic film review of 1959's Ben-Hur, starring Charlton Heston, Stephen Boyd and Jack Hawkins. Now, this was directed by William Wyler, and just the name of this movie alone is synonymous with epic cinema. Now, it's up there with The Ten Commandments, Lawrence of Arabia, Gone with the Wind. It's the tale of Judah Ben-Hur, a Jewish prince who's betrayed by his childhood friend and condemned to the Roman galleys. And through its epic 3 3/4 hour runtime, our hero will seek revenge and search for his imprisoned family via epic sea battles, an encounter with a certain Jewish preacher, and a breathtaking chariot race. Now, make no mistake, this is epic, classic cinema of the highest order, the kind that will win you 11 Oscars and 4 Golden Globes and a BAFTA. But it's also very long and stagey and talky, and has been accused of being a mostly tedious Sunday school tale. The truth is, it's all of those things really, but it's also much more. Let's take a look. Now, it is sometimes quite difficult to discuss a film of this scale in a video that's digestible. The plot here is huge, so a quick whistle-stop synopsis is as follows. A deep breath. So Judah Ben-Hur, played by Charlton Heston, is a wealthy Jewish prince. His old friend Messala is played by Stephen Boyd, and he's grown up to become a politically ambitious Roman tribune, and he visits him and wants him to name names and round up some Jewish dissidents. And when Judah refuses, Messala finds a way to imprison his family and throw him into the galleys of a Roman warship. Now, when Judah saves the life of Commander Quintus Arrius, played by Jack Hawkins, he's adopted by him and eventually finds his way to the Roman circus for a life or death chariot race against who else but his treacherous friend Messala.
This is the day, Judah. It's between us now.
Yes, this is the day.
So Ben-Hur arrived just 3 years after Heston had already starred as Moses in The Ten Commandments, and in the space of about 18 months, Heston somehow starred in Touch of Evil, The Big Country, The Buccaneer, The Wreck of the Mary Dear, and Ben-Hur. So yeah, this was pretty much his peak period. Heston was a dab hand at playing that respectable man wronged or put through extreme circumstances who overcomes adversity and comes out righteous at the end, and that is Ben-Hur.
May God grant me vengeance. I will pray that you live till I return.
Return?
And this is epic entertainment, no doubt, the kind that in the 1950s, remember, television just couldn't deliver. So you had to leave your house, crazy, right, and go and experience widescreen wonderment, washed down with some TV-level melodrama, of course. And although this arrived as the McCarthy witch hunt had ended, there is an echo and a strong order of them in Messala telling Judah Ben-Hur to give him the names of local Jewish dissidents. Now, this movie takes place parallel to the story of Jesus Christ, and of course the Romans are looking to quash any nonsense about a Messiah and an uprising against the Roman Empire.
You speak as if he were God.
He is God, the only God. He is power, real power on earth. Not that.
Now, Heston and Boyd are both great here, going head-to-head before the former's thrown aboard a slave ship or to more modernise a model of a slave ship in a water tank. But let's not forget that on his way to his new watery workplace, an exhausted Ben-Hur collapses in the heat of the desert and is fed water by a mysterious man that has a strong effect on even the evil Romans.
I said no water for him!
Now, the size of the cast here is numerous, of course, and although they're all bit players to Heston's hero, Hugh Griffith, Martha Scott, Sam Jaff, amongst others, can all be spotted. Now, I'm being unfair there because both Heston and Boyd do great work. Boyd, an Irish actor, was no stranger to epic cinema during his career, starring in The Fall of the Roman Empire, The Bible, Genghis Khan, and many others.
No, it was fate that chose us to civilize the world, and we have. Our roads and our ships connect every corner of the earth. Roman law, architecture, literature are the glory of the human race.
I believe in the future of my people.
The others. And Ben-Hur was shot over a period of 9 months at Rome's Cinecittà Studios, and the old school craft on display here is still one of the things that I love about these 50s and 60s epics. The sets, the wardrobe, the overall production is perfectly polished to create 26 AD Jerusalem. Now, this is as good a time as any to mention that this film is a remake of a 1925 silent film, itself an adaptation of the 1880 novel Ben-Hur, A Tale of the Christ by Lew Wallace, which is a story that mixes a revenge and redemption tale in and around the life of Jesus, beginning with the travellers following a star and ending on the hill of Golgotha. So in terms of this movie though, although the ultimate message is of compassion and forgiveness, it's also about action and extreme sports, as evidenced in a 10-minute chariot race that's become one of the most famous action sequences in cinema history. Now this is a feat of practical filmmaking that I can imagine would floor most modern filmmakers, using an 18-acre set populated with thousands of extras to house a sequence directed by Andrew Martin and stunt legend Yakima Canute, as well as a few assistant directors. Now one of these was Sergio Leone himself. Now it's staggering filmmaking, putting it mildly, and it's the sequence that does spring to mind when you mention Ben-Hur, even for people who've not seen it. It's funny as there's 2.5 hours of movie to get through before it, and even though you would imagine it would make a perfect climax to the film, there's still another 40 minutes of film after it as Judah goes in search of his missing family and stumbles upon the crucifixion. To be honest, this is where I feel the film's awkwardly paced, at the most point here anyway, given the movie's length, but there's a sense that the film's pushing hard to leave its audience with a feeling of enlightened biblical faith rather than the satisfaction of sporting revenge. Now, if those afternoon devouring 70mm epics aren't your thing, then Ben-Hur won't convert you. Heston's screen presence and the bombastic score from Miklos Rosa keep your attention. The film's so reverential that modern audiences not raised on biblical scripture served up as mass entertainment may struggle. Certainly come the New Testament style miracles of the finale. You have to remember that for a good while the Bible was used much more for movie screenplay fodder. So with a budget of an, at the time, astonishing $15 million, director William Wyler and his crew assembled a must-see movie that grossed over $74 million, far and away the biggest movie of the year. Its 11 Oscar wins held the record for nearly 40 years, before Titanic and then The Return of the King matched it. Now with the legacy Ben-Hur's attained, we won't discuss the 2016 version, mostly because I haven't seen it. It's hard to believe this was a risky make-or-break move for MGM Studios, a last-ditch attempt to stop the studio going under, a risk that paid off and gave us the apex of epic cinema. Go check it out.
I crown their God.